You already know your business is running you. You feel it every Sunday night when the dread for Monday morning starts building. You feel it when you check your email at your kid's soccer game. You feel it when you take that vacation and you ended up working in the hotel lobby because three things would fall apart if you didn't take the time to work on vacation. Look, you don't need a checklist from me of the 3 signs your business is running you, but I am going to tell you why this is happening. And once you understand why, you'll be able to break the pattern. So why can't you step away? Somewhere along the way, you got taught that being indispensable is what success looks like. That if the business runs without you, you must not be that important. We want to feel important, especially in our own business. Look, maybe that's just me, but I definitely 100% want to feel important to my business. And this leads us to behave in a way that it all falls apart when we aren't available. Subconsciously, every system we build, every person we hire, every process that's documented gets unconsciously designed around keeping us needed. You delegate the easy stuff, the things that aren't critical to the business, while holding on to everything that makes you the bottleneck. Nobody else can do it like you do, right? Look, this is an identity crisis created by hustle culture. Who are you if your business doesn't need you constantly? I lived this for years. I told myself I was working insane hours for my family, for my team, for my clients. The truth is I was working that way because I had built an identity around making money and my ego. The more money I had and the more people who liked me because of my money, I was more successful. Look, my identity was tied to what other people thought about my business success. And if you take away all my late nights and the constant firefighting problems away, I didn't know who I was. About the 4th year of running Insight, my tax firm, accounting firm, we do more than tax. I had 2 senior accountant candidates in front of me. I only had the budget for 1. Both were really strong candidates. So I went home, I talked to my wife, and I said something that kind of at the time felt a little reckless and scary. And I said, sweetheart, we need to make some short-term lifestyle sacrifices, but I think hiring both is the right move. And so we did. We ended up hiring both. Within months, my workload dropped by 1/3. Revenue stayed flat short term, but the quality of work went up. Clients got faster turnaround, which means happier clients led to more referrals. I got my evenings back, which also means more time spent with my family and kids. And the part that I guess I had to experience to believe it, the business didn't fall apart. Not only did it not fall apart, it actually got better. And that was the moment I stopped trying to be the business and I started building it instead. Up until then, every decision I made was about how to extend my own capacity, hire help so I could do more, add hours so I could fit more in, find a system so I could squeeze more output out of my same decrepit brain. The 2 accountant decision was the first time I bet on the business existing without me having to power it. And that's the shift. You are not the business. The business is what you build. In fact, if you want, the more profitable businesses are the ones that have team that are built around being a business. So those are 2 different things, right? So how can you stop letting the business run you? First, audit where you're still the only one who knows something. Every single point of only I can do this, that's a lockdown chain. You don't want it. And the person that you're going to train to do that is going to pick it up faster than you did because you're going to be there to train them, which is a luxury you didn't have when you had to suffer through all the mistakes to figure it out. I recommend starting with the chain that feels the lightest, actually. It's already going to take some fortitude for you to even do this. So make it easier on yourself by choosing an easy one. Do the easy one so that you can find a successful transition. Success precedes motivation. Get a win under your belt, and you're going to start seeing how awesome it is to stop being the only option. Second, I want you to take a real break and watch what happens. I do want you to take breaks in the middle of the day, but I'm talking about like a longer day break, not a long weekend where you're still checking email, but a real break, 3 to 5 days off, where the business genuinely runs without you present. And look, most owners are going to be terrified of this because they think the business is going to collapse. What actually is going to happen is one of 2 things. Either the business runs fine, which means you've been overestimating how indispensable you are. Not a big deal. We've all made those mistakes. Or specific things break, which gives you a precise list of what to fix next. Either outcome is gold. And once you fix the things that broke, I want you to go back and take a longer time away. Maybe if you did 3 to 5 days, do 5 to 7 days. This is a method I learned from Clockwork, written by Mike Michalowicz, really great read. And it eventually led me to take a 4-week vacation between March 15th and April 15th, which is super ballsy for a tax accountant. Another thing you can do this week, hire one person a little bit earlier than you think you can afford it. Be strategic about it. Choose the hire that lets you stop being the bottleneck. Most owners are going to wait until the math of making that hire is undeniable, which usually means they wait until they're already burned out, that hire that you're avoiding would have changed everything 6 months ago. So don't delay anymore. Your business doesn't need you the way you think it does. It needs you to lead it instead of spending so much time doing all the tasks. I mean, you started this thing for freedom, right? Time freedom, money freedom, mental freedom. Those are the 3 freedoms that I talk about when we say, oh, I want freedom. Hustle culture sold you a version of success where you trade all 3 of those freedoms for what? Words of affirmation from people who are never actually going to affirm you. You don't have to keep paying that price. If you enjoyed this, come find me on Substack. The link is below. The only way to have work-life harmony for you and your team is to build a business, not be the business. And I write to that point, among other things, over on Substack. So please join me over there. And remember, if you take breaks, you will work better.